Hello, everyone. How are you? I hope you guys are doing super well. I am so excited for today. Super pumped. I hope you guys are as well. Just taking out my braids here. Today we're going to be talking about the new moon in Gemini. Today starts the new moon, and I'm so excited. I'm going to cover everything from what to expect depending on your sign. We're going to go over what to see in the new moon of Gemini. Let me know where you guys are listening to. Come and converse, chat. Don't be shy. And then we also are going to go over a little bit more of what 3 signs are going to be most affected to this. So super excited. If you aren't part of the community and this is our first time meeting, I'm Shika and I'm your conscious mentor. On this channel, we talk about all things spirituality, wellness, entrepreneurship, and social media. Today, like I said, we're deep diving into the new moon, May 2020, with the Gemini. What's going to be happening? How is it going to be affecting us? We have had a crazy year, yet there's so many exciting things to come. So I can't wait to share it with you. Please feel free to engage, ask any questions you guys have, and then I'll kind of deep dive into it. I'm also going to be doing, if I can find them, I should have them. Oh, they're right here. I will be doing card readings at the end. So I'll do a card reading for people and pull. We'll see how many people we have and how much time we do have. But at the end, I will pull a card for you for the new moon. So stay tuned, and I'll do that later on. Okay, so Gemini, for you guys who don't know, Gemini is a very interesting sign. I don't know if any of you guys are Geminis, but man, they have different personalities and that's completely fine. They kind of have, both sides to them. They can be quite straightforward. They can be amazing and genuine and social. They're a bit of both. They tend to be quite mistaken for a lot of people to be other signs as well. And you'll see that a lot when I'm explaining each one of the signs. You guys might notice that certain signs that I share, there's going to be a big difference and a big shift with it. So I'm really looking forward to just like chatting with you guys about it. Let's kind of deep dive into what the new moon has. So the first thing is intuitive consciousness. I talked a bit about this in my live, but I'm going to deep dive in it with you guys in today's live. So intuitive consciousness is with the energy of the new moon. It's really bringing us to sit inwards within ourselves. If you guys don't know, the new moon is a representation also known as the dark moon, and it's a lot about internal work. Full moon is like manifestation, what we're going to do for others. New moon is what we're doing for ourselves. And the thing about the new moon is what you are manifesting right now is what's going to happen up until the 6 months. So Gemini, we're kind of recapping, and the reverse would be Scorpio, right? So November is kind of what we're looking at. So all the long-term seeds that you're planting right now are going to be flourishing between now and November. This is just something to know. So whenever you have a new moon, this is huge. So intuitive consciousness is big because by November, we're almost done our year, right? And by then, we really need to deep dive into what do we need to work on? What do we need to focus on? Not what other people need to focus on. What do we need to focus on? And I find a lot of people are getting challenged right now because they're sitting in with their emotions. Some people are not used to having these intuitive feelings, and they can be suppressed emotions. So things we've gone through, such as traumas, breakups. I know a lot of people are going through a lot of just refeeling their breakups and emotions and any breakups that they've had in the past, exes coming into their life, those types of things is happening. And it's testing your intuitive consciousness. It's testing you on what your worth is and what you want to put your energy out going forward from now in the next 6 months. So it's a lot of just like intuitiveness. Gemini tends to be quite an intuitive person, like empathic as well. So I definitely see that within the new moon. You will also notice that you might be very creative, very energetic during this time of the new moon coming up to this day. So you might still feel it. You'll feel it after as well. People are also, because of the energy increase, we're also noticing that we are lacking sleep. So I don't know about you guys, but I haven't been sleeping very well. I've been doing everything from like putting on my lavender oil to getting a massage, all the 9 yards, like getting my partner to massage me, everything, and it's still not working. So I don't know if any of you guys are also facing lack of sleep. Please let me know in the chat what are some emotions that you're feeling recently or things that are coming up that you're kind of like, I don't know what's going on. I'd love to hear from you. So yeah, that's the first thing, just like intuitive consciousness. The second thing we have is ancestral connections. And I am so happy that I thought of this because I was on a live yesterday and I thought I would share it with you guys here. I got a specific card the other day and I thought, man, this really aligns with the energy of what this specific thing means. So if any of you guys got this card before, you probably are familiar with it, but this is the card. So it's the keeper of the earth. And the representation of this is, if you can see it, there's you as a representation, and here is your angels and your guides. So I've noticed a lot of people kind of getting, I feel like my grandmother's presence. I feel, some type of warmth, like I'm not alone sometimes, and there's an energy around me. So this is an opportunity, as the walls are thin, or energies are dimensions and walls, 2 dimensions are thin, to connect with ancestors. And these are 2 ways. So first is just to connect with ancestors if you're going through a hard time. This is a great way to plant seed these intentions and ask for them to help you manifest those things and put that energy in there. So your guides, your angels, all of that. I know you guys love angel cards and angel numbers because you love them here. But coming from an ancestral connection, so asking your ancestors, what do I need help with? Can you support me? Can you help me? That is one of the biggest things. I've noticed that my grandmother is around me sometimes. I notice a lot of my connections with my my intuitiveness with my guides, my angels, have been heightening a lot. Yeah, Eba, I think you've gotten that card before as well. So it's just saying that they're right beside you, and they've always been right beside you, but because of the new moon, they're right there. So please ask yourself, or put an intention and say, hey, okay, what can I do? What's the seeds that I need to plant? Putting your intentions and verbalizing it not only to the universe, but to your ancestors. This is also an opportunity for ancestral cleansing, ancestral healing. So this brings me to my other card that I shared with you guys before. And if you've ever gotten this card with me, you probably know this one. This is the ancestral chain. So I've noticed a lot of people who, for example, one person who had a miscarriage, and her mom also had a miscarriage before giving birth to her. So that's a great example of how much that our energy of what happens in this world is transferred over to our kids and our family line. So this is a time for us to break those chains, to start with a new beginning, not bringing anything ancestral, such as hatred with families, with siblings. That's a huge thing for a lot of the signs that I'll go into. So people or families, siblings or whatnot that you have issues with right now, you're going to feel a little bit of confrontational and kind of sitting with yourself and asking yourself, how can I better these relationships? Or are they absorbing my energy and I need to keep my distance and create boundaries? So this is really big. You'll also notice that you'll get a lot of messages from your ancestors as well to help you guide you through this time. So angel numbers such as like 444, 333, all of those sequences, you might notice there's a lot of those as well. And another thing too is Gemini, which is interesting, is actually the direct source. Their direct sources to, universe, to source, to heaven, whatever you believe in, they're direct to source. So this is actually really interesting to know, because a lot of Geminis tend to be people who are not from here, if you will. And their souls are so old and they have so much wisdom in them. So what they bring here is almost like a humanly body, but they have this old soul energy. And this is really big. So they're kind of communicators. So I don't know if you guys have any Geminis in your life, but you might notice that a way that your ancestors might communicate with you is through the Gemini energy as well. So that's really, really big, that we have this portal that we're able to connect to our source, connect to our siblings, or any person that passed away in our life, connect with them. I know my grandfather, he passed away, and recently he's been popping up a lot. And ironically enough, I did a FaceTime with my mom and she was showing pictures of him, and it was just kind of like, I felt like he was there. So I just want to say that ancestral things are going on, and break any chains of ancestral paths and turmoil that's been going on. Focus on your intention with that for the next 6 months. Also, make sure that you know that you are always guided. You are always guided. I talk about what an Igor is. I'm not sure if you guys saw that video. If you didn't, you can definitely go check it out. But an Igor is basically something where you manifest your energy towards something. So say if we were to say, I am manifesting $10,000, and we all liked that post, or we all like prayed for it or put blessings or sent light to it, then that's going to create an Igor, which is actually going to create a triple the manifestation speed, because there's all this energy is growing in this one intention. So remember, things grow when you put more intention, more energy towards it. And this is very, very important. But I just think it's so beautiful that Gemini is the direct connection to us and source. That's so amazing. I got a phone call looking someone's name Denise and is beginning with a prefix of the number 444 in this morning. Yeah. So again, that's where, Mark, I would probably ask yourself, if any of you guys are getting angel numbers or any sequences, you got to ask yourself, what is my angels or my guides telling me? So I'm not sure if you have any people that have passed away in your life that you are very connected with, or people that may be just entities or whatnot that you feel within your household and whatnot that have been holding you and keeping you that comfort during these times that we are currently living together with. Just really asking yourself and letting them know that you want that support, and connecting with them deeper, because they do appreciate that their journey and basically their mission is to protect us. So that's number 2. Number 3 is kind of looking inwards. This is big. I talked about this a lot, and I'm breaking it down into 3 parts. So with the new moon in Gemini in the May, we're really looking at how to break up our deeper following within ourselves. So for example, we're going to look into our soul, our intuition, and our human body. They're all separate, but they make who we are. So sometimes when people are imbalanced energetically, we tend to find that there is one that we're not counting for the other. So right now is a perfect time for you to look inwards and say, okay, what is my soul's intention? What is my intention, or my own intention within myself? And what is my human body's intention? And what do I want to accomplish, or what do I want to bring into my life in the next, say, like 6 months, between now and November? It might happen earlier. It will happen earlier because we want to manifest that, right? However, we need to make sure that we're putting that energy out there. And that's so, so crucial. So I want to let you guys know that. Look at it and ask yourself, great affirmations and questions is, what does my soul want to plant right now during this new moon in Gemini? And what is my intention? So writing a list of intentions and things that you want to create and manifest and attract into your life, relationship, attracting money, whatever it may be, but be specific. State exactly what it is. I want $10,000 so I can pay off my debt. I can go on a trip to California for 4 days with my kids or family. I can, end up buying a really nice, I don't know, something or whatever it may be. Just be specific, because the universe will not be able to bring that manifestation quicker to time if they don't know what it is. And because it's new moon energy, we're going to really amplify that speed if you do it the right way. And I kind of want to do a video for you guys on how to manifest, because I've been getting a lot of questions on, I'm stressed about bills, I don't know what's going on. If you come from a space of lack, even in the time of the new moon, no matter how much you keep repeating what you want to manifest, the more lack you will receive. And I want you guys to know that, because I've gotten a lot of people saying, I'm really doing all the things, but I don't know what's going on. And then they complain about everything that's going on in their life. But if we change our perception, we understand the realisticness of where we are at, but then we focus our energy on where we want to move to. That's how a lot of people who come from like poverty, or people who come from various situations, get out of there. It's because they're focusing their energy and they know that they're going to get out. They believe so much so no matter what's coming their way that they're going to get out of that. And that's where the new moon comes in. And the dream I had last night was really woke me up. I won. I still have the feeling. Yeah. So Mark, what you want to do is, I've noticed I've been getting very vivid dreams. And if you guys don't know, I'm doing a water fast right now. I'm on day 2, just for more spiritual reasons, but also just with the new moon, which I'll go into later on with you guys on our signs. But I just wanted to share with you guys that I've been getting very vivid dreams. So have you guys been getting any dreams? Have any of the dreams told you about what your subconscious wants for yourself during this new moon? There's a possibility with that. It's also the aspect of maybe your dreams are also sharing you what's your boundaries, what's preventing you from getting what you want in this happy life. So in the new moon, I really want you to set intentions. Write down what exactly do you want to do. And what I've been doing actually, and probably after one, I'm going to be signing off social media because I want to make sure I'm focusing on me and I'm taking full effect of the energy of the new moon. And I think it's important for us to kind of take a step away from distractions, step away from everything else, and look inwards. Even if it's only a couple days after and you don't have time till say Sunday, you can still do the new moon ritual, which I talk about in my last video. The other thing I was going to say is, are you aligned? So are you aligned, or is your energy aligned? And I've been getting that a lot with people. Again, this brings me back to my deck of cards. It's crazy because all these cards I was pulling out yesterday, and they make so much sense with the energy going on right now. Are we aligned? Like, is our energy aligned? Are the things that we want in our life, like what we're saying, is it what we're doing? And sometimes it's hard. I get it. Like, I've had times where I'm not. So I'm going to show you guys the card. Are you aligned? And I love this picture because it's showing so many faces. And it comes down with me like understanding that I'm quite a spiritual person and I consider spirituality as parts of different concepts. I feel personally, and I'm sure you guys are the same, that, we're coming to a point where we've been awakened and we don't know how to live our life now in this new state. We're all going to be evolved and better humans after this whole experience. And I think this is what Gemini is teaching us. New moon in Gemini is teaching us that, okay, we've gone through a lot the last 4 to 5 months. How are we going to push forward with this? How are we going to take this and make this our light, not our shadow? And it's so beautiful to see. So now that we know this new person, it's putting intentions in this new energy. It's putting intentions in this new thing that you felt. I think this is so big. I feel like a newborn. Yeah, it's like, think of it being a newborn or a kid. You're walking for the first time in this new life, this new energy. You're taking it all in for the first time. Yeah, and it's kind of like there's this lack of fear. I've had a lot of people saying that they feel kind of assured that everything's going on and it's fine, but at the same time there's no direction. Think of a baby, then the mom has to teach them everything. So that mom, if we're taking the analogy of you being the baby or being rebirthed, you need to go to your intuition and the universe, which is basically your mother at that point, helping you to find within yourself why you had to shed off those relationships, why you had to go this direction during this Gemini new moon, what was meant for you through this whole experience. And again, not a lot of us, it's very difficult. It's not easy, and I always tell you guys that every single time. However, would you rather be on the fence of fear, where fear equals the point of not fully being capable or able to live this life, or feeling exhausted where you are? Or would you rather go with faith of believing in yourself and knowing that, hey, I can do this. It's going to be hard the first time. I'm going to have to, learn how to walk again and learn how to eat again and all those little things and do things independently within this new soul that I have. This is why I'm saying it's important in Gemini to look at our soul, intention, and our body, because our human body, our soul, and our intention make who we are, but we treat each one differently. So our soul is what we are meant to do. And for a lot of people, after this whole experience, they went to a job, they've been working a job, and then they have this, and now they're thinking inwards and they're like, wait a minute, this is not what I wanted. This is not the job I wanted. This is probably not the relationship I wanted. This is not the way that I want to see myself. This is not the way I want to self-judge myself. I don't want to feel self-conscious anymore. I don't want to feel depressed, anxious. I am done with these emotions. So once you figure that out, you're like, okay, what else is more to life? And that's where you're at. That's where the new moon in Gemini is bringing you. It's, where am I at? Where do I want to be? And now that I've experienced the taste of the happiness and the joy that I could have in my life through this experience, through the dark in the light, I want to expand it. So that kind of really brings me back to that. And I want to also share with long-term plans. So what are your long-term plans out of all of this? What are the term plans that you want to kind of focus on and grow yourself and whatnot? where do you want to be? So for example, I'd love to hear you guys is like, what are you manifesting for November 2020? What are you manifesting? And be specific. This is a free space. This is a sacral space. Be specific of what you want to manifest exactly. So you're not just going to say, I want money in abundance. I see some people message that, which is fine. That's a start, but we want to be more specific to the universe. So writing those down, and you don't need to write a whole heap of stuff. Like, you can focus on what feels good to you. I know for me, right off the top of my head, I have 4 intentions for this Gemini new moon that I'm going to write and meditate on. So just really thinking about that, that's super important. Okay, so now that we know that, the 5th and final one that is super interesting before we get into the astrology stuff, which I love, is new structure and new plans, new opportunities, new everything. Now that we know that we've rebirthed ourselves, this is a new air. This is a new oxygen that we're breathing, right? There's a new kind of essence and energy in the space. And with that, there's a lot of things going on. So if we look at it more in a scientific perspective, our economy is completely restructuring in a good way, though, because we are refreshing and pushing out what needs to be pushed out. And we're bringing in this new energy. We're allowing Mother Earth to take a break. We're allowing ourselves to look inwards, to go back to society better than we were before. And I've known a lot of people, for example, this is just an example, but those who want to get pregnant or didn't want to get pregnant, and now they're having a baby because now they've looked inwards and found, the reason why I didn't want to have a child wasn't because of anything. It was because I didn't think I was worthy enough. I didn't think I was appropriate to have a child. So if there was ever a time where you felt like you weren't worthy enough to do something, now is a time for you to sit those intentions and push back those fake beliefs and start creating new beliefs, start creating new habits. One of my favorite things I've been doing, I'd love to hear you guys, is what are your habits that you've added or learned about yourself? I've learned I love yoga. I've learned a deeper, different type of meditation, active meditation, and sitting still meditation with nothing, and allowing my mind to slow down. I feel like I want to manifest so many things. How can I skim through it all? So it's all about day by day. And I always tell people, are you living for the now? Or are you too focused on in the future? And I think the new moon in Gemini, what it's really going to teach us is, how are we focusing on pushing our energy in a space where we're looking at, what do I want to manifest right now? So there's 2 types of ways of manifestation. There's a manifestation of intention, which I do every single day. You guys know, I've showed you guys in this late video, but I have this journal that I use quite often. It was given to my energy healer. And she always tells me, she's like, you put intention and you'll be amazed when you start manifesting, things happen. And I will tell you this right now, that you saying that I don't understand how I can get it through it all is putting a block within yourself. Why don't reframing it to saying, I am manifesting this and I'm really excited to manifest all these things. And right now, these are my current, intentions, right? So exactly, like, don't focus too much on the future. I remember my old self used to be so focused on the future, where I would plan every single thing out too much in a way. So I'd plan everything from, how many kids I wanted, what my career would be, every little thing. But we need to understand that the universe tests us out sometimes to expand our souls, to expand ourselves. So right now, it's almost better for you to go by 6 months and just understand, okay, what do I want to focus on? Maybe just 2 or 3 things. And as I bring in my daily intentions in your journal, or whatever that may be, you might expand that a little bit more. Right? You might do more of that. You might end up doing like, okay, now that I've created $5,000, I feel so high vibrational. I want to make now another $5,000 before so-and-so months. And then because you're focusing all your energy on that abundance and that intention throughout the next months, then it's going to come to you faster. And that's why I always tell people, when you manifest something, always say, and it is so, because that verbalization and confirmation just tells you that it's already happening. You just have to wait for time to come. And there are times where I manifest something, for example, even the things in our daily life. Like I feel like eating pizza. And then 2 seconds later, my partner's like, let's order pizza. I have not conversed, nothing, but my energy, my manifestation, my thought came in. So we manifest the small things. And if you want to start increasing your power of manifestation, that's why I always tell people, start with the small things. Start with what you eat, start with the people you want to speak to, talk about like any little things that you do. When you start to create those little things, they increase your vibration and ability to manifest, and creates kind of like a current of energy where when you bring in those big manifestations, it already has such a great energy coming in. So what I would do is with the new moon energy or full moon energy, whatever the time is, you should really just ask yourself, what is the 2-3 things that I want to focus on during Gemini, the new moon of Gemini, and that I can see myself working towards in the next 6 months. And play by it day by day, but stick to the now. It's important for us to focus in the now, less in the future and the past, because the past holds us to define ourselves to what's not real, what's not in our reality. And the future, we never know. Tomorrow is so uncertain. Every single day, I'm always thankful for a new day because I don't know if tomorrow might never come, right? And when you have that perception of just heightening your vibration every day and seeing being happy and everything, it allows you to just enjoy time. It allows you to enjoy life a little bit more. And it also allows you to cut out anything that isn't at your vibration. There are a lot of friends and families and stuff that you might have to distance yourself and create boundaries during this time of Gemini, because Gemini is all about realistness. They're going to tell you all the good stuff, but they're going to give you tough love too through this energy. When you're going to go inwards, you're going to see both sides of yourself. Whether you are, masculine or feminine energy, whatever they may be, there's the yin and the yang to it, right? So we have our good side to ourselves, but we also have our bad side. So our Gemini is telling us to put both of them there and see them for what they are, look deeper in, and restructure ourselves and our reality based on what we are at right now. So I think that's so important. I think I always make mistakes, and I also think manifestation to future, you know what I mean? Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like if you're thinking so much in the forward, it doesn't do that, because then what's going to happen is you're thinking of these big things, and I'm saying big, dream big, but if you're thinking so big where you're not connected to that manifestation, that's what people do. They focus so much on the pleasure and the accomplishment and less the intention. Intention evolves. You evolve every single day. The way you were today and yesterday is completely different energetically and just as a person, right? We evolve every single day. So stop saying more about the future. Start looking inwards in yourself. What do you want? What do you want in this Gemini new moon? What do you want to bring in general, And we are the painters of our reality. I say this every single time. And if Gemini is not going to share that with you, it will definitely show that with you a lot. With your signs from your ancestors supporting you and comforting you, but also telling you what you need to do next. Also with, intuitiveness, your intuitiveness is going to be very heightened, right? So this is an opportunity for you to kind of really get the answers and the clarity, which is big, clarity, structure and clarity that you need going forward. So I really hope you guys enjoyed that. I really think that's a really great. I'm going to go into the signs because I think this is so important. Yeah, Gemini is like full. I felt it since Monday, to be honest. And it's funny because I woke up one day and I was like, I'm going to just do a fast. I'm going to do a water fast. I'm actually going to be sharing it with you guys, and I'm documenting the whole thing, and I'm really excited. But my way is my spiritual inwards, and I'll show you guys why I'm doing it. But I'm just saying that if you ever get intuitions to do something, just do it. Your gut is where your intuition is. So for you guys who don't know, or you're just learning about that, wherever your gut says is right. So go with your gut all the time. That's where it always works, right? I just allowed to try not to control as much as I can, overthinking in the universe. But yeah, it's funny that you said that, Mark, because the last time I did a reading with you, I remember you mentioned that you have such a controlling kind of feeling to you of planning things, which is fine. However, sometimes we need to just let things go for it to know where we need to go next. So for example, I'm going deeper into my internal self of my traumas and stuff, and that's not easy. That's going into the darkness. But when I go back into the darkness and I'm able to look inwards and kind of just watch what I've gone through, it allows me to appreciate right now, increases my vibration. Like me seeing myself a year from now, just a year alone, or even like 6, 7 years from now, where my mind was completely different, my habits were completely different, and where I am now, talking to you guys about new moon and everything, it's a very big difference. So we need to celebrate those structures that we've left behind and creating this amazing energy, not only for us, but our family. Like I've seen even the shift of my own, my mom, my siblings looking inwards and starting to question a little bit more about, manifestation. I've heard people who do not believe about that stuff, right? Like I think that's one thing. My partner we're completely opposite. He's a science person. I'm a spiritual woo-woo person. So when we talk and we converse, it's great because we have both dynamics and we balance each other out. And I've even had him ask questions about, oh, I've been feeling these feelings. I've been having these crazy dreams. What do you think they are? So we're becoming more, as people say, woke, if you will, awake of the current situations that we have within ourselves and what's going on in the world. And it is beautiful. It is really beautiful. And you're going to look back at where you are now 6 months from now and be like, man, I made it a long way and I'm so proud. So I just want to let you guys know I'm so proud of each and every single one of you guys for taking the step forward and going that direction. Yeah, exactly. I think it's just letting yourself just paint out that journey, paint it out. I think is so crucial. So I'm going to go over quickly the meanings for each sign. I'm going to go over the signs that are just more, I don't want to say general, like they still are going to be affected by Venus retrograde and all of that, as well as the new moon of Gemini. But then I'm going to go and hold the 3 other ones after, of which ones are most affected during this time. So we're going to start with Aries. I always go by numbers or by order. So Aries is really going to be going into, for the new moon, all you Aries, or if you know any Aries, you might notice this, and I'm even saying it makes so much sense. So a lot of the things with Aries, during this new moon, you're going to notice a lot of your relationships with your neighbors and your siblings. So deepening those relationships. Aries has been a lot of introverted, maybe very quiet, not really connecting with their family and friends as much as possible. Like some people react differently under pressure and some people go quiet, and Aries is one of those signs where when they're stressed, they go inwards. They don't like to talk to people about their stress. They don't want to put that burden on other people, but they're always open to nurture others. So here's really talking about how are you going to reconnect with your siblings, reconnect with your neighbors, reconnect with your relationships. During the Venus retrograde, it's going to really force you to create conversation and connection. So now that you've kind of been introverted within yourself, it's time to go outwards. And this is very important. And making sure that you're staying close with those that are your closest friends and family. I think this is really big. So who are you staying close to? I think this is really key. And also let me know in the chat what sign you guys are, so I kind of know, and it allows me to kind of go a little bit more depth if that works. And you can also comment, which is great. But yeah, I think this is really big. So like staying close is really, really big. Yeah, I think that's really interesting because yeah, I think it's really big that we're staying in this kind of energy. And it's hard. It's so hard, but Aries, you guys need to come out. You need to start conversing. You need to start conversing with other people. Stop being an introvert. It's not good for your own mental health. And you'll find that by going inwards. When you go inwards, you might notice, man, I haven't been connecting with my families. I haven't called them for a while. It's time to connect with them and just find out what are you going to do to build your relationship with your neighbors, your siblings more. Maybe there was some conflict with some of your siblings, and now is the time for you to reopen that. So it's really nice to see you guys. Leo rising, Aquarius, and Capricorn. Okay, awesome. Second thing we have is Taurus. So Taurus, if any of you guys know some Tauruses here, it's all about abundance. So stability in finances, but also saving and spending. So looking inwards, what have you been doing with your money? Remember, money is energy. So have you been spending a lot of your money on things that aren't needed because you're trying to do shop therapy, which is holding you against looking inwards? Are you saving so much because you're out of fear of spending at this current time? Or are you going to spend and invest in the right spaces and balance yourself, balance your energy, so you're giving yourself some nurturing as well. And also, where do you need more stability? Maybe you've been avoiding some responsibilities right now. This is the time for you to look at that stability. So the question I kind of wrote there is like, what makes you feel good and what pays well? So the reason why I wrote that was because Taurus also, a lot of Tauruses right now are feeling like they're not happy with their job. They're not happy with their business. They're not happy with where they're at in their life career-wise. So they're feeling the sense of resentfulness towards their career, and or they probably lost their job and now they're like, I don't know what to do, but I want to do this career. I just don't know if it's going to pay well. So you need to find a balance. You know, you can do a side hustle perhaps and then have a job that's able to give you enough hours to pay for your bills, make you happy enough, and then make sure that you're putting all your energy into that side hustle to create it as a career. So I'm really seeing there's new beginnings of new like launches of businesses and creativity and the energy for Taurus, and just working your best as much as possible. Try to work your best towards that energy. That's super important. Virgo, awesome. Gemini. Okay, so Gemini is talking about, because we're in the new moon of Gemini, and usually if the new moon or full moon is in your sign, there's a lot of deep transformation happening. So Gemini is all about your life purpose. It's kind of going back to, why am I here? What's my soul trying to tell me? What do I need to focus on right now? It's about new beginnings. So this could be new friendships, new relationships. I know right now a lot of people are starting to see who was there for me during the good and the bad of my life, right? So it's really understanding, you know, what are the new beginnings? Do I need to start making new friendships? Do I need to start creating new hobbies or new, you know, knowledge, maybe courses, maybe reading, whatnot? That's very important. It's very important during this time with the Venus retrograde to make sure that you're heightening your energy, because you're going to feel really exhausted. There's a lot of things shifting in your life. Some things that you didn't want to shift, maybe you were holding on the string to keep it going, but now the universe is kind of cutting it off for you to feel free from it. And I did this really great meditation I wanted to share with you guys yesterday, where it was like a visualization and meditation. It really reminded me of Gemini, just came through, but putting in basically a rope around your waist and imagining that there's an anchor at the other end of the rope, and you're trying to run as fast as you can and get to the other end as fast as you can, right? But every time you take a step, it gets heavier and heavier. And that's kind of where Gemini is. It's like all of the things you've been avoiding on both sides of your personalities, you need to come and bring them together and find out what your deeper purpose is. That's the challenge that Gemini is facing. Our next one is Leo. So you Leos, I know you said Leo moon, so that's amazing. So Leo's all about networking. We know Leos as very social, want attention type of people, and that's fine. But I think here is really talking about new groups. It's time to get some new energy. Your energy has been stagnant. It's time to do new things. So maybe, you know, joining a new online course to socialize with other people. Maybe it could be also to join a workout. I was looking at Alo Moves, which is like a yoga membership. And it's interactive. So that type of thing, you know, trying to get yourself into your life purpose and getting into new networks, new friends, both at work and in your personal life, I think is very important to move that energy a bit, because you're feeling a little stagnant. And right now it's been so hard for you to be an introvert, and it's time for you to kind of release. And I think it's dimming your light a lot right now. So with the new moon in Gemini, Leo, you need to start expressing yourself a little bit more, start releasing a little bit more and networking with some new groups. This is also a time for Leos to be more giving. So humanitarian work is a big thing. So you might be needing that you want to give more. And it can be as simple as helping out your neighbor with groceries, or helping out and calling a family and friend, or asking, you know, your friends, if you need anything, let me know. But you are being more giving. It could be also giving to charity. Right now, Leos are feeling like they want to give so much right now. And I think it's out of their nature, because they love the attention, but they also like to be recognized. So this is a great way of you just putting it out there and fueling that personality and that part of your energy. And I think the last thing is Leos have a hard kind of battle, where this is where Gemini hits in. You want to network, but you also don't want the commitment. And that's where Leos come in. So it's like learn how to commit to certain things, commit to relationships, commit to jobs, commit to thoughts, commit to projects, creativity. all of that stuff. Commit to your self-worth, how you see yourself, elevating your commitments, and it's creating a little bit of anxiety for you at this time, especially with Venus retrograde. So this is a time that you need to kind of ask yourself, that person that I've been seeing for 2 months or for how many months, is it time for me to end up dating them? Or is it time for me to take the leap and just, go for it, put my trust issues aside and do it? Or is it time for me to commit to that job and not wait around trying to look for better things? You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. I think that's so important. Like trying to find that travel blog. That's amazing. Go on Facebook. Try to connect with other people on Facebook groups. That's been my favorite way to be social during these times, is going on Facebook groups and connecting. I'm in a lot of affirmation and like networking groups, and it's so helpful to have that guidance and connection. So yes, I think that's 100% important. Getting out there and not allowing yourself to restrain from your social energy that you need. Your social energy is like drinking water for you. You need to kind of do it throughout, bit by bit throughout the day. And I think right now the energy is allowing you to kind of feel stagnant because you're being so introverted. It's time for you to speak up and talk to other people and get that energy moving again. Okay, so Virgo. Virgo is next. We have a Virgo. Mark, you said that you're a Virgo. So making your way in the world in validation and praise is one of the things. So Virgo likes to have a lot of things in structure. And I think with the Gemini new moon, it's really bringing you to say, like, you want validation for all the things you're doing. So all the validation for helping your family, all the validation for helping in your work and doing overtime and just like going above and beyond for people. I definitely feel like having that praise is something that you need. During this time, though, it's really going to allow you to kind of, I guess, be more aware of that a little bit more, very much so, where you're going to have to go inwards instead of pushing that praise. It's almost like you're focusing so much on the validation and getting that what's it called? I'm like blanking out that pay grade, or getting that increase of pay, or getting an upgrade, or whatever it may be. You're focusing so much on the accomplishment. It's pushing you out to look inwards. What do you truly want? Not what do you want to be validated for? What do you want? So staying away from balancing, I always say there's two balancing sections. It's, pleasure, and then there's what we want to have and what we need, right? So there's pleasures and our needs. And our pleasures is something that we go through our validation of what that feeling is, because we want people to validate us, which is similar to kind of in a way of a Leo, depending. I don't know if you're Virgo and Leo, but I feel like that can kind of intertwine as well. So just be keen of understanding and looking at the full picture, I think, is one of the biggest things that I'm really feeling with Virgo. But Virgos tend to be really in their ways. They're the way they are. That's kind of the way it is. But during this time of looking inwards, I really suggest you kind of asking yourself, do you really want that validation, or what are you actually chasing for? What are you actually looking for during this time? And what do I need to work on in the next 6 months to go for that? So we have Libra next. Libra is growth and wisdom. So right now you're kind of growing, you're doing so many launches, you're creating a new course, you're doing a new business, you're just dated and started a new relationship now, you're feeling great. You're getting clarity. However, you're also having to seek self-improvement. So even though there's so much going on, with growth comes self-improvement as well. It's not only just making new beginnings. You need to create room in your life in order to bring things into your life. So one of the things I'm actually going to be doing really soon this weekend is to clean out my closet. So that includes physical energy. So new beginnings tends to be like cleaning up things. So I'm actually purging through my closet, taking it out. And I would suggest you guys, as a tip, to purge out that energy, because with Libra, that's one of the things I saw is you're really looking into self-improvement, but in order for you to gain that from the universe, you need to remove the lack of energy. So that could be anything from relationships to actual things. This is huge. Last thing that I always talked about as well is you have to kind of close some chapters. And what I mean by that is like creating some chords that have been open still. So past relationships that you haven't closed yet. Maybe the breakup was really bad and you're still thinking about it during this time. Maybe your ex started texting you and you're like, what's going on? Maybe that job that fired you abruptly, you're like, now you're thinking so inwards with yourself and how you actually felt and not brushing it off at this time. So kind of going inwards and understanding that in order for you to grow, you need to release those things, and just put an intention for that. So just saying like, hey, my intention for this new moon is to work on my self-love for myself, to know that I am worthy of these new beginnings and this new growth that I'm doing right now. The last one before we get into the 3 that are most affected during the new moon in Gemini is Sagittarius. So Sagittarius is how to navigate along with others. Right now, you're feeling that maybe there's some tension of negotiating in discussions or conversations, and your energy is a little bit heightened a bit. So the new moon of Gemini is really teaching you in May to bring in your emotions from the past and reflect and learn what have you learned from them. So, kind of understanding how you've reacted to conversing with strangers and people close to your life right now, and how can you create more of an expert of conversation with people more in order for you to get better at negotiating and getting to a common ground with people. Because I do feel like right now you're having a hard time with that, and you will see that with Gemini and Sagittarius as well, because Sagittarius has those 2 energies, those 2 kind of faces, if you will. Sagittarius has a hard time dealing with that because they're very straightforward. They just want to know what it is. They're very like to the point, whatnot. I think it's very important. Like my partner's a Sagittarius, same thing, very to the point. But at the same time, in order for you to kind of build that, it's like conversation. So sometimes I'll even be like, for example, I'll say, okay, what's your opinion on that? Or I'll kind of position it in that way to help practice and take advantage of them learning about how they can go inwards and learn what they need to work on, because they also aren't really good with critique. So this is a great time to kind of look inwards and say, okay, what do I need to be an expert in my conversations? What can I work well on? So I think that's really important. Now let's get into the 3 that I did not mention. So the most affected during this new moon is Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. So I'm going to start with Cancer first. Cancer, I think one of the biggest thing is deepest fears. That's really, really huge. Your deepest fears are going to be the biggest during this time. It's coming up and it's very emotional. Cancer do not like confrontational. So any people who are Cancers or know a Cancer, or maybe you're a Cancer moon or sun or whatever it may be in your birth chart, Cancers don't like confrontation. They hate it. They despise it. They find every way to kind of go behind it. However, right now in your relationships and your career, it's allowing you to reflect inward and see what were your deepest fears and how have you been avoiding them? How can you surpass them? Remember, any emotion that is beyond happiness and love is usually learned or taught or felt through an experience we've had, or through something that we're focusing on from the future in the past. So it's never really our part of our reality in the current now. So really, I would suggest for Cancer to really look inwards and say, okay, what do I need to work on? Why is this fear arising? What is it? What's going on? What can I work on myself? And knowing that it's okay to be confrontational and chat with those people, maybe in that relationship, saying, I'm fearful of what direction our relationship's going, or I'm fearful of working on our friendship, or, whatever it may be, that's very important. Or I'm fearful of, what's going on with work because it's been an adjustment for me. So really looking at, Cancer and understanding, the deepest fears. It's very important, Cancers, for you guys to do this during this new moon. It's super, super crucial. Okay, now we have Scorpio, which if any of you guys are Scorpios, I'm a Scorpio. And Scorpio is very intense transformation. And I will say from firsthand, I am feeling that so much. So transformation with that is really thinking that you were a caterpillar and this month you're becoming a butterfly. You're kind of making your way outside of this cocoon, and it's new. It's a rebirthing. Like we talked about the new child, this is really where you're feeling it. And I will say that is one of the biggest things, is that transformation of accepting yourself, of what this new birthing has brought to you. And some of the things might be new, some of the things, the feelings might be different. Maybe you'll find new things about your soul that you didn't know before. And this is very important for you to kind of look inwards and say, like, what are these intense emotions? Why are they happening? What do I need to fix during this time for myself? And kind of just enjoy yourself transforming. Enjoy that transformation. Don't suppress it. Enjoy it. Let it blend into the souls and kind of let the intention come in. Pisces. Pisces is interesting because I do have some Pisces in my life. I don't know if any of you guys have them as well. But with Pisces, one of the biggest things is that what is the truth really happening for yourself? What's the truth in your life? So what you truly want for your higher self. And this is hard, you know, for Pisces. They're very emotional. They always want to help other people. And now they're going inwards, and they might be, you know, if you're a Pisces, you might just cry randomly, and that's completely fine because you're noticing, hey, I don't know what my truth is. I'm feeling so confused. And this is a time in the new moon energy for you to look inwards and say, what is going on? What do I need to focus on in myself? What do I need to kind of go inwards for? So I love this. I think this is so beautiful. I love, love, love Cancer, Scorpio, and all of them. And I think even though some of them do say some very direct emotions and direct messages, I think we can all learn from them. I think we can all learn from each and every single one of them in a good way, you know, for ourselves. So if you guys want a reading, I can pull a card for you. You can just say me. I'll pull a card for you. It's so hot here. And also let me know if you have any questions too, please feel free to. If not, I will do a collective one and then we'll end the session. Okay. Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna just like position you guys here. I think I said Aquarius already, so let me double check. I had them in my notes. If not, I'll have to double check on my laptop, but I said Aquarius already. Let me double check. Sorry, one sec. Let me look. Oh yeah, I haven't done it. So let me check my notes in Aquarius. One sec. Okay, Aquarius was. Okay. I believe I had it in my notes. I'm just going to go through my drive. Give me 1 second and I'll do it for you guys. Okay. Did I miss any other signs? Please let me know. Let me know if I missed any signs for you guys. Okay, so this is the 2 that I wrote down for Aquarius. Awesome. Okay, yeah, these are the 2 that I wrote down for Aquarius. So Aquarius tends to be quite indecisive. And sometimes when you're so indecisive, and I have Aquarius in my life as well, so I kind of know, but you tend to want to decide exactly what you want in life, and you know what you want in life, but at the same time, your intuition is telling you otherwise, and you're following kind of the space of, oh, okay, well, I'm going to go back to that other decision. So it's kind of asking yourself, what are some things that your intuition, that niggling feeling, which I got a card for that quite often a lot too. What is that niggling feeling that you're getting continuously in your stomach where you just keep getting it and you're like, what's going on? So it's time for you to kind of act on that. It also kind of states a little bit more on your career. So it's really career based. It's not on your emotions. It's specifically within your career. So what are you kind of not deciding at this time, and how can you be more decisive? And I think that's one of the biggest things that you're getting for the new moon that's kind of a little bit crazy. So I would ask yourself, one of affirmations I would say is like, what can you focus on? What can you focus inwards on? And how can you focus that way, I think is very crucial. So just don't be afraid, because I think that's one of the things that Aquarius is indecisive during times of stress. And right now, because we're creating a new structure, it's time for you to kind of not be in between 2 planes. It's time for you to finally decide, because if you don't, the universe will end up deciding for you. So I hope that answers your question for Aquarius and how that affects you for the new moon. Mark, yeah, I can definitely do yours. Mark. If anyone else wants a reading, say me and I'll do a reading for you. Yeah, I definitely saw that a lot. It's clarity on freedom between career versus freedom is really where you're coming from for Aquarius. And it's asking yourself, where is your freedom and where where is your freedom and where is your career bringing you as well? So I hope that kind of aligns. Maybe you can ask me after Mark, I can do a card reading for you on that. Okay. So if anyone else wants to say me. Oh, I feel like this one's yours for sure. Hey, no worries. Yeah, I love doing these. These are so much fun. I have a card reading on my Instagram live later in an hour. And then I have a couple meetings, so I love it. Oops. Okay, so Mark. Okay, Mark. So we have 3 cards for you. Okay, so we have 2 things. So, and I'm going to kind of go on the basis of knowing that you're a Virgo as well. So here's, if you knew you would be supported, what would you do? So I feel like, because we kind of discussed this before, it comes down to your job is what I'm feeling, like that job opportunity that you got. If you knew that you had to focus on that, if you knew that you were trusted and supported fully, what would be your decision? What would you be focusing your energy on? And creating boundaries. So boundaries as far as using your throat chakra and speaking at what you really want in your life. And this is for the specific decision, which I feel like is between family and career for some reason. So I feel like with that, you should really just understand trust your path, know that you're meant to do whatever you want to do for your career and getting that new job and accepting it. But create boundaries between your loved ones, which is easier said than done. I know it's hard, but I really think that's very important for you to fully put your energy into and commit into this new job and this new venture that you're going to be doing really, really soon. I feel like within the next month. So sisterhood is the rows of teachers. So just saying that you're a teacher at heart, like even though you do come across with wanting validations and whatnot, and that's why you have that teacher feel to you, you have that teacher energy. You always like devotion to give to other people and have that validation of knowledge. So I do feel like using that validation of knowledge for yourself to trust those paths and understand and reflect during the new moon, what boundaries am I going to create in order for me to manifest the job that I want in the next 6 months, or the job that I will create and have for myself in the next 6 months. And this could be boundaries within your own family as well. But I really feel like family is like screaming out for me. So like family, friends, just letting them know where you stand and where you want to be. So I think that was a beautiful reading. I don't know if you have any other questions on that, Mark. Yeah, that'd be amazing, Abby. So just kind of like, if you want to ask a question, Abby, you can. If you want to just like kind of think about it, that's fine too. Just let me know. And Mark, let me know what you think about that as well. What kind of hits home for you. And if anyone else just tune in, you can ask for a reading and I'll do a reading for you as well. Just say me. Okay, so Abby. Okay, Abby, so this is for you. You're already doing it. Transformation of healing and get grounded. Amazing cards. So you have a good reading for your career-wise. So here is, you are doing everything right. You're doing all the right things. Don't overwhelm yourself. I feel like for this new moon is just understanding that what you've done so far and what's the next step. So understanding for as far as the career, just understanding what you want to do for your job in the next 6 months, whether that's a promotion or switching completely to a new job and not being fearful of leaving it. But just understanding that you're going the right direction. Your intuition is telling you exactly what you need to know. So just follow the light. basically. Transformation, you're going to be hitting a very transformational point right now. I feel like during this new moon, you're going to be really connecting with your ancestors and getting the answers that you need as far as the next steps. And in doing that, it's not only going to change you on a dimension of like your life, but also on a cellular level. So you being more intuitive, being more energetically in line with yourself. And because I'm thinking back of the Aquarius, you're an indecisive person sometimes because you think of all the things that need to be in place first. This is a time to kind of let go of that and understand that, you have been going the right direction this whole time, and it's time to just make that decision right now. In order for you to believe in you're already doing it and the transformation, the next step is really talking about empaths and highly sensitive. So you are quite empathic, you're very aligned, but at this point it's time to get grounded. So during this weekend, I would really suggest like going in nature, like going and walk, be in Mother Earth, or just, having the window open if you can, just allowing yourself to connect, because you really need to tap into yourself during this transformation, and kind of give yourself an upgrade so you can get closer with your intuition, get more in tune with your intuition. Yes, ancestors and guides are so strong right now. Yeah, so what I would suggest doing is actually speaking to them. Speak to them, talk to them. I think that's so important. So just speaking to them and letting them know that you are here. So walking into nature, and you don't need to walk into nature for that long. It could just be little as well, but just like allowing yourself to meditate, maybe standing in the ground with no feet, with no shoes on, being grounded, being with the sun, making sure that you're balancing between your feminine and masculine energy as well. That's super important. So not only being in the daytime, but maybe just going out with the new moon and just being with the moon then too with the feminine energy, because that's going to make you more creative, and being more creative will allow you to understand what you need to transform and what's the next step in order for you to believe in what you need to do in this new chapter that you're planting for your career. So I hope that kind of gives you more of a assortment. I know Mark said right now I am in limbo. I have a job, but I don't have a truck for me yet. Applied for this. Yeah, so right now it's kind of like, that's what I mean. Like you're kind of in this sense where you need to just kind of trust your path, trust that you will get that truck, trust that you will get that time. And this kind of brought is like celebrate that you've already had the job. So you've already manifested this job. It's already happened for you, but now you're going back to your manifestation and almost counteracting it. So just don't do that. Just allow yourself to keep your vibration high, believe that you're going to get the job. Right now is a time of just certainty within yourself and your own energy. And in doing that, you'll be able to guide the situation a little bit more. So I think that's super important. Yes, I speak to them every day. I walk through 3 hours with 3 hours to weight loss. It takes them a long time, but of course, in the gold course, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's awesome. So I think it's like good that you connect with them. Great ways of connecting with them is also speaking to them, or even just having like writing down. I love writing in my journal. That's my favorite way of connecting with them. Just writing a piece of paper, especially in the new moon, putting intention of a list, and then also writing to them. I also communicate with my guides on different elements. So sometimes if I have a candle, they'll tell me yes or no, depending on how the candle flames lights. So again, everyone's very different, but finding a way to communicate with them during this time. And also if you're connected with a very specific ancestor, this is a perfect time for you to connect with them more. So I think that's super important. I'm going to do one more card reading for everyone, which I think will be really good. When I speak to them, my body twitches. Yeah, so some people hear hair pops, other people hear, like sounds and things coming out. So each person's different. So we're going to kind of ask the cards for a reading for the new moon for everyone. And we're going to pull. Okay, so we have 4 cards. Ooh, 5. Whoa, there's a lot of cards. So this is actually pretty on point because it has all the things that I talked about and it goes in order. So this is amazing. So we talked a lot about ancestors, and this is a really big pattern. So a lot of the insecurities and emotions that we have are brought to us from ancestors. And here it's just saying breaking the chain. So how are you going to break the chain? How are you going to break that, basically break that kind of pattern that has been happening not only to you in your lifetime, but to other people in your family? It doesn't have to be directly from your mom. It could be your aunts, uncles, great-great-great-grandmothers, whatever it may be, but rewriting our future, which is really big. And because we're in this rebirthing energy, There's no wrong answer. Like, we have full control to rewrite whatever we want, and that's so beautiful. And then this brings us to, in order for us to find those ancestral answers for our higher self in this lifetime, it's ensuring that we're mothering ourselves. So I talked about this, and this card was pulled yesterday for our live as well, but I talked about how we all need to mother ourselves right now. We all need to kind of go inwards, get off social media, go with Mother Earth, do the 3-hour walk, do what you need to do, but really just asking yourself, how can I look inwards and mother myself? The other thing is trust your path. I know I pulled that out from Mark, but it was pulled again. It's just understanding that we need to trust what we need to do, trust where we are in our life, trust this whole journey, and it's all part of it, the good, the bad, and the okay, and seeing it in the perception that we want to create. So for example, if you're focusing during this new moon on all the bad things and listing it out, then it's just going to end up getting worse for you, right? So focus your energy on the specific things. Focus your energy on trusting the path, trusting your ancestors to be there. They're going to be creating that Igor for you. We're all going to meditate through this together. We're all going to focus on that energy together. So that's super important. Unfolding. So in doing and trusting your path, and this literally came out card by card. This was in order. So I just want to tell you guys how aligned this is with our energy right now. So the ever unfolding rose. So it's just saying that once we trust our path through this new moon and plant those seeds, we'll be able to unfold everything we want between now and the next 6 months. So you need to trust. It's not time to be indecisive. It's not a time to, judge yourself or not have belief in yourself. It's a time to fully believe internally where you're at and believe where you need to work on, and allowing the energy of the Gemini and the new moon to put both your real reality, where you're at now, and where you want to go. And knowing that where you want to go is where you want to believe the most, and putting and surrendering that energy away so you can focus right now on the positivity in every situation in your life. And then this brings me to your last one, which again, this is perfect. And it went in order, guys. And this is the Plates, which is a beautiful card. And it's saying that after all this, after we've released break our ancestors, we break our patterns of our ancestors, we'll be able to uplift our humanity. We'll be able to uplift not only our lives, but the lives of our loved ones and everyone around us. I've noticed since my energy healing, my neighbor's life is so much better. He got a job, he has a new car now, and he's just super happy. And I've been energizing and thinking over and over again of this beautiful light, not only going to me, but to everyone in my neighborhood. And I've been noticing there's been differences. There's more families now, and there's just new energy around, and everyone's so close. And the mothering here is talking about when we uplift our energy, again, we uplift for everyone in this lifetime and before us. So taking care for everyone who didn't before us and for us, so we can create that counteracting and create that egregore of energy for everyone during this time. Trusting our path. So once we trust our path, we're not only going to allow us to trust our path, but I've also noticed, and I'm sure you guys will notice, people in your life, your friends, your family, people at work will also start to trust their path and start talking about the things they're going to be accomplishing. So it creates a ripple effect of energy for everyone. And the last one is the unfolding. We're rebirthing the earth. We're rebirthing our world. We're rebirthing our energy, our soul. We are literally pressing reset on everything, Mother Earth and everything. And with the Plates in the double mission, it's just saying that we have a mission in our souls, regardless if our stories are all different and our missions are all different. At the end of the day, it's to uplift humanity and ourselves. And we are so interconnected. So with Gemini, I really want you guys to focus inwards, not be afraid to see the dark and the light, and really work on both sides and take that time to mother yourself to get the answer. So I love those readings. I hope that really helped you guys out today. Let me know in the comments here, like what you guys think, how you enjoyed it. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up, like, and subscribe. It actually helps a lot, and our family is growing. We're manifesting 1 million amazing souls to help this year. And I can't wait. It's already going that way. It's already happening. It's not like I can't wait. It's already happening. I'm thinking it that way already. I'm also going to be doing a live reading. So if there's a question that you didn't get to ask here, you can go check me out on my Instagram. It's at Shika_Chica. And there I'll be doing a reading in 1 hour. So at 1 p.m. Eastern time, and you guys can go check that out. So thank you so much for being part of this, guys. I really appreciate every single one of you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'll see you guys in the next video. We'll be doing a video tomorrow as well. So I just want to say thank you. You're wonderful, and thank you for your guides and bringing me to you. Oh, thank you. I'm so happy that all of you guys are here, and thank you for sharing. I really do appreciate it. Every time I do a live, it makes my heart grow. And I just want to say that part of this whole adventure has happened because of you guys. So I want to say thank you to every one of you guys. I love you guys so much. And take care of yourself. Enjoy your new moon. I'll talk to you guys in the next video tomorrow. Sending you love and light. Bye.